Hey guys, Trev from the Struggling Artist Podcast, and I want to talk to you real quick about Struggling Artist Record Club. The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
You're listening to the Struggling Artist Podcast.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction.
With your host, Trev Allen.
I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes.
Everybody, Dan from the band Already Dead has returned to the podcast to talk about the band's new album, Something Like War. I've had the pleasure of watching this band kind of discover who they are. They had an idea from the get-go, but they are really falling into like their own identity as a band, and I really am like it's a delight to watch. We talk about that in this episode and a ton of other things. Stick around to the end of the episode to hear a song off of the new record. And, one thing is I messed something up in the beginning of this recording. So Dan's audio, he was getting like an echo. So his I don't know. It was spaced out a little bit. I think I fixed most of it. We'll see if I fixed it all. This is episode 295 of the Struggling Artist Podcast, struggling with the return of Already Dead.
Here lies my self-esteem, standing in the ground by my apathy. Never said I learned my lesson, no regrets, no confessions. Truth be told, I never was one to care. I couldn't tell you why everyone was there.
I went back on your Bandcamp and I was like, when did I talk to them? And it was like the summer of 2022. I can't believe it's been 2 years already.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah. And you guys were like all nervous. I remember you guys were like nervous and
Oh yeah.
You guys were drinking already. It was like 9 in the morning.
Well, our first show was that night too.
Yeah. That was an awesome show. I went to that show.
Yeah.
So if anyone remembers the episode with Already Dead, we talked about the show and how I was going to be there. I did go. I had a blast. You guys were awesome.
You followed through, man, and I appreciate that. Sir.
Yeah.
No, that was a fun night, man. Awesome.
It was a good time, man. It was a good. Every band, the Graniteers were on, and KCUF was it KCUF?
KCUF and Maddie Anderson.
Yes, Maddie Anderson opened it up. Who I think just moved to like Switzerland or something.
No shit.
I think he had something on there about like I could be wrong about it being Switzerland, but I think he just moved overseas.
Fucking hey, dude.
Good for him for sure, man. So, but Dan, man, it's been a minute.
Yeah, brother.
I was, I reached out to you like a month ago, and I was like, dude, this album's awesome.
And I appreciate it.
And again, it was like at 3 a.m. when I did it. So
that's when it sounds the best.
Yeah. Well, for me, like I said, I work overnights, right? So 3 a.m. is like my 9 p.m., So
right.
So I was like,
the witching hour and the Trev hour.
Yeah, that's it, man. I get all sorts. That's when I do my most work. When I started the job, because it was before. Or it was after we had talked last. So like so when I started the job, like I had to remind myself like, hey, just because midnight is like noon to you, Like that's not noon to everybody. So like I'm texting people after midnight. I'm like, these guys, they're gonna think I'm up to no good, or I'm just an asshole, you know? So,
Yeah. What the hell is he up to?
Yeah,
This
so-
late in the day. Yeah.
So I just try to, I had
Are you like a natural night owl? Or?
Yeah, I've always been, dude.
Same.
And I've worked in bars like most of my life too. So like I've always like I don't sleep at night. I have like that's when my brain goes crazy, right? Because everything's quiet. When I sleep during the day, there's like birds outside and there's people mowing their lawn, cars driving by.
Dude.
So like that noise
that
kind of
natural white noise.
it like keeps it at bay, keeps all the crazies at bay. So I mean,
So you did it smart. I fucked up because I'm like, oh, I'll just choose construction because I'll always have shows at night. I'll just work. I'll just never sleep.
Yeah.
And that was fine when I was 20.
Yeah.
Fucking nowadays.
Yeah. So my schedule is cool too, because like what I do is I work 12-hour shifts. So like 1 week I work 3 days, the second week I work 4. So it leaves me time to go to shows,
That's cool, man.
but the problem is I work every other weekend, and like I feel like this fall, every weekend I want to go to a show falls on one of my working weekends.
It always does.
Yeah. So I was like,
Doesn't
God
it,
damn.
man?
It's
Yeah,
like half the year I'm like, this is awesome, and then the second half I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I
hear you.
So
That's like anytime I want to book something or even just go to a show, boss is like, well, we got work Saturday and Sunday. You want to work all weekend? And I'm like,
yeah.
no, I fucking don't.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend some money.
Yeah. Man, listen, I've noticed like I mean you guys came out 2022 and then like you dropped some singles and then like you stayed active, like you kept dropping singles. I saw you were doing like acoustic shows if you couldn't do a full band show.
Right.
You kept the momentum going, and then 2023 you dropped a couple singles as well.
Yes.
Doing the same thing, it looked like, right? And then 2024 hit, and like you dropped what 2 singles this year, and then you dropped the album.
Yes.
And like, and you guys, I feel like since the album dropped, all I see is like full band. We're going here. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here.
Oh yeah. We're all in.
That's good, man. That's good. Now, has the band changed at all?
Oh yeah. Yep. So we added a 4th member.
Okay.
Our good friend from before anyway. It wasn't like just adding a member. It's our friend Brian Ferrazzani. He is now on bass guitar. Barty is on rhythm guitar. He was originally on bass. And dude, it just fills the sound out so much.
Yeah.
Especially like at a live show. I couldn't be happier with it.
That's awesome.
And I think that was part of it, but it was just he's one of our boys anyway, so we didn't mind it. It was all I played in bands with him. Me and Nick, Callie, the drummer, and Fez were all in a band together before, so it was like we already knew each other.
Yeah.
I've lived with the motherfucker before, like you know what I mean. It was just
That's
it
awesome.
was like, dude, just hop on. There's no intros, so it helped because he joined as the album was coming out, so we're like, oh, we're kind of on momentum.
Now, did I meet him at that first show?
He was there.
Was
100%.
he there when you guys did the when we did the interview? Was he in the background, like behind the camera?
No.
Oh, there was someone.
Oh, that was dude. You know who that was? That was Boss the Rapper.
Oh, okay. So I met him at the show. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
He was there too. Yep.
Yeah, and you
100%.
did a song with him last year, right?
We did a single with him. He's on one of the songs on My Collars Blue, our first album.
Yeah.
And he's on one of the songs of our new album, Something Like a War. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
our
yeah.
boy too. It's nice, man, to have like a little network of musicians that we all happen to be really good friends too. So, Boss the Rapper is a rapper. He's a lyricist. So I bounce shit off him all the time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Especially on the lyric side. Like, dude, I got a hook.
That's funny because
Please help.
I talked.
Yeah.
So he was at that first show too. Then.
Yep, 100%.
So I that's who I talked to because he was like, "Oh man, these guys were so nervous." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He was telling me all about it.
Of course he was.
Yeah, but like he never
blowing up our spot. Yeah.
He never told me that he did hip hop or anything like that either. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He's a
cool,
great
man.
rapper.
That's cool. Yeah, I like the stuff that you guys have done together. And I you know what? I didn't even write it down. What song was on the new album that he's on? Because I was listening to him like, oh, I know this voice because it was
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's Keep It Moving.
Oh, I did have it right here. Yeah. Keep it moving.
A
Yeah,
little
yeah.
later in the album, but
Yeah, that's right. That's
it's
the one
a
that has
jam.
horns in it. You got like horns in
Yep.
there.
Yeah,
Who
absolutely.
played the horns on that?
So, 3 different horn players are friends, you know, just from meeting people. But my good friend John Powell, him and I play in a band together. And then our friend George, and then our friend Russ, man.
Yeah.
Trumpet, trombone, and saxophone. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Because like it's like, so like I said, like when I met you guys, you were just like right. It was because it was your first show.
Yep.
You know, Michael.
Album was out first though.
Yes.
Like an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna record a whole album before I get the balls. To
I
play
think
a
we
show.
talked about because the first album had a lot of versatility in it, where it was more. But for me, I felt, and I think I said this to you, it felt like a resume. Like, here, this is what we can do. Where the versatility in the new album is more about like just like doing things. You know what I mean? Like it's different. You went from like, hey, this is all the stuff we can do. And then in this one, it's just like you're putting everything together to make a sound, right? It's an evolution of like what the band is.
Dude, I would totally call it that.
Yeah.
100%, because I feel like I consciously did that with the first album, but I don't know if I was doing it at the time, but I'm like, yo, I love two-tone ska. I love ska punk. I love street punk. So I want to write songs like that.
Yeah.
But it didn't like flow like that. It was more like, all right, here's this one, this one, this one,
right.
this one.
Yeah. And that's good though, because like I know people that do that. Like I know I had a guy on here he works out of Nashville, right? And he's like, you know, I used to book him at the bar I worked at out that way.
Okay.
And like, but like if you go to his Spotify, like he's all over the place. All of his, and he just has singles, and they're just all, and it's basically it's a resume. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's like so, and also it shows that you can fit on any kind of bill. You know?
And I feel like, hey, we've already done something like this, so 4 albums from now, you're not going to be like, oh, they just came out of left field and tried something else. It's like, no, I did it once before.
Yeah. And again, like, so now all the versatility in the newest record, in something like War, it's now you're like evolving into a sound, and I like that, dude. Like, I really I really do feel like. I mean, you guys always had that, you know, that Boston anthemic like street rock and roll sound, right? Yeah. But like, I feel and your content has you know, you knew what you were writing about for songs like right off the rip. But like now, I just feel like this is what the sound is, you know, like it's you put everything together to make it this thing, and that, man, that's a good thing. So like the band's evolving, right? That
means a lot.
Yeah, man, of course, you know, but like so like you got the band evolving, you've got a new member in the band, and then like I'm going through some of the stuff, and I seen you had Bob from the McGunks on a song, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then like so like I see this and like that's everything that I talk about, like community, like you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're featuring people, you're doing collaborative, like crossover stuff with people. You know, it's awesome, dude. Like you guys, how do you guys feel about it? Like, how do you feel like? Do you get like? Is there anybody that's just like stay in your lane? Probably not. You know what I mean? Because you do it well. So
I haven't heard it yet. I'll tell you. But I couldn't agree more with the collaborative side of it. You know, I love just creating and in general, like whatever, like, okay, we put a lot of work into these albums and shit, but if I did a random punk compilation jam or something in one day with Bob from the Gonks or somebody else, and we're like, dude, let's just put it out. Who gives a fuck? Like, I would support the hell out of that too.
Yeah.
I love the collaboration aspect of things.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the sense of community that we have here, you know?
Right. And we're lucky to meet the people that are willing to do that. And I think you're right. Like the community here is strong. And people are looking to do shit like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's cool, man. I'm totally in for it. And again, like I said, like I just remember that first interview and then going to see you. And like you guys played great on stage together for the first time. You know, it wasn't even like it's not like something that had to evolve that in that sense, but just like as a band, as a working unit. Like, and again, I haven't seen you guys since then, unfortunately, but I will, I promise.
Thank God we've gotten a little better, I hope. Yeah.
But like, yeah, just in your sound alone. And was this like, did this grow? Like, I mean, it's going to be organic regardless, but like, is this the sound you wanted? Like, was this kind of like, oh, I want to get to this point?
I'm not there yet. I will fully admit.
Okay.
But like, sorry, I got like a little delay in the headphones, so I'm gonna pull the headphone off when I go to talk.
Yep.
Let
me fix that.
100%. Like the goal was to blend all the styles I'm influenced by, but it definitely happened subconsciously at the same time. Like it was even, and Barty, bass player now, rhythm guitar player. We have a few of his songs on this album, so that just helped evolve. But I can speak for myself that I am proud at the end of this, because it's 14 songs, right? And that's not even a common thing nowadays. But I think the way we arranged it, like the first 6 songs, I feel like we're coming out swinging.
Mm-hmm.
These are our punk fucking rock songs.
Your anthems, yeah.
Yeah, or what we strive to be. And on the back end, maybe I went a little more experimental, but that was on purpose. But it felt to me and it felt to us that it flowed in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we're there yet. We got more work to do, but I was very happy with how this album seemed to blend our shit together, but not so obviously. Like we were saying, like a resume, or dude, my cousin called it the sampler platter of punk, our first album, which I loved that. It was hilarious. But this one, I think it's like more of a blend in like a natural flow to it.
Yeah.
And hopefully our next one's even better.
That's something I wanted to bring up too. Like, it's 14 songs, it's 40 minutes. Like, it's a bit. I love that. I miss that. Like, I just bought an album that's like 20, 25 songs.
Yeah. I love that. Dude,
yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. So like, cause like, all right, cause punk songs, like they're generally like, I know people that like, if they go over 3 minutes with their song, they won't put it out as a punk song.
Yeah. Dude, Barty gives me shit about that all the time. No.
Yeah. It's just
with it, like, let's keep it under fucking 3 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's you just gotta be, you just gotta do what you gotta do. Let it do. Right. Let it take as long as you need to let it take. And
yeah.
Now have you put out any more videos since the beginning? I know we talked about that because Nick was I was talking to Nick about how like he like wore himself out because he was playing the drums the whole time instead of like just trying to like
yeah. He doesn't get to pantomime the shit. He has to play the drums. Yeah.
So have you guys dropped any more videos? Oh, you did for the first track, right?
Exactly, the first single. The Spirit of Massachusetts Avenue, yeah, we dropped video with, since we talked, we linked up with this director, Berto Media, Roberto Torones of Berto Media, but we had one video out the last time you and I talked, and since then, I think we've done 5 videos with him, man, because we have a great relationship, so he's cool as shit, he produces professional, just great videos. So we, especially on this one, I hit him up. I was like, we need a video for the first single. I don't really know what the hell I want. Here's the song. You know what I mean? And he really helped us. He really helped develop this one for us.
Letting an artist do their thing with your art
right.
is cool. You know what I mean?
It's so I think it's the smartest decision at some points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like worrying about the song is enough. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather, I wouldn't say not even delegate, but again, collaborate, right? That's why our album art, all our song art is done by Mark Safi of Safi Design. That's why the videos are done by, like, these guys are experts in their field.
Mm-hmm.
So I would much rather collaborate with them than me trying to wing something that'll probably come out shitty. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, no, but Berto, so The Spirit of Massachusetts Avenue, we have a music video for that one. It was a great time filming it, too. We did it right on the Mass Ave Bridge over the Charles River. connecting Boston and Cambridge, and it was cold as fuck, but it was a great time. And no, he knocked it out of the park. Berto did a great job for sure.
I seen there was quite the reception for that first single too. I noticed on social media, and like you guys, I saw you getting like interviewed at like a radio station one time, right? Like recently, I think I made a comment about your beard was on point, dude. Like,
Hell yeah, it's Sky Bar, baby.
dude, I was nervous today because like I was like, oh, I wanted to go to the barber and I didn't get a chance. I was like, Dan's gonna make fun of my scruffy ass beard, dude. Like,
Dude, I know the struggle, man.
I used to go,
The beards are all we got, dude.
I know.
See
Yeah,
that bald head up there? Yeah.
I used to go once a week to my barber and like just to clean me up and like line it up right and everything. And then like, I moved, but I found a barber where I was at. And then when I came back, I was going like everything's by appointment now since COVID.
Oh yeah.
And it's like an app, and I forget to fucking book an app because I used to just go and sit and wait. And the barber is the only fucking thing I will wait for.
I don't blame you at all, dude.
I don't know why. Like, I can't stand wasting my time waiting in lines, but I will go to the barber and just sit there for an hour, 2 hours. My phone died there one time, just me sitting
That's
there.
why the app's nice, though, because you know that time. Nothing beats that shit.
And I'm old, and I just don't. Whenever I think about it, because of my schedule, I told you it's kind of wonky. So whenever I think about it, and I'm like, oh, I got to make an appointment for like, this week. And I go in and it's like on, and I should just make it for the next week. But I'm like, oh, I'll wait until the end of the week to figure out what day I'm going to go. I screw myself all the time like that.
I'll tell you, dude, that lineup that day was homemade, actually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever leave the union, you may have a job with a barber chair, you know?
No way. I'm just lucky I was lucky that day. I fucked it up many times.
I screwed mine up recently.
Yeah.
And I ended up I ended up taking it down like with a one buzzer just to like and like I was like I didn't go anywhere.
That's what, I've told my coworkers, I'm like, dude, if I fuck my beard up, I'm calling out for a month.
Yeah.
This is all I got, dude. Yeah.
And then I had to wait till I screwed it up, but I left it like kind of crappy until like everything else kind of got to a point where I could, I'll be okay. But people were still. We went to see Flatfoot 56, pretty close to that. And Kyle from Flatfoot was like, did you have a hat on when I was like, no, I had a beard. So
I just had a better face situation going on.
Yeah. And he laughed. He's like, oh, I do that too. I screw mine up. So, yeah, man. Because I'm always in a rush. And that's why I go to the barber. Because I'm always in a rush and I'll end up screwing it up.
I got my one barber, though. I always went to him when I was too nervous to fucking even touch the beard. And then one day I just jumped ship and just tried it. But I still got my one for important things.
Yeah.
I'm like, when I know something's going to happen, like, I already got married, but like something else. I'm like, I got my barber for that shit.
It's funny. I had moved, when I first moved away, it was probably like, I was gone like almost a year at this point.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little more. And I came back for a wedding. And like, I didn't have to go to the barber because like I had just gotten mine cleaned up before I got there. But like one of my best friends, I'm like, go to this. It was like the day before the wedding. I'm like, go to this fucking guy in Worcester right now. Tell him I sent you. And
save yourself.
Yeah, I was like, your face looks like shit. So it was his brother's wedding, right? So he goes, and he tells the guy, and the barber's like, wait, didn't he like move away? He's like, yeah, he still made me come here.
Yeah, dude. You were being a good friend there, though. You
man. I was trying. So I was looking at your website too before we get back into the album. Yep. You guys have. I don't think you had a website the first time I saw you or talked to you.
Dude, probably not. I put all that shit. Maybe, but probably not.
How do I order these prints? I see in your merch you got prints.
Shirts and shit.
Well, there's shirts, but then there's like
the artwork.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I need to upload that shit immediately. Because I have physicals of every one of those.
Yeah, I need to buy a couple from you. We'll talk about that after. But yeah,
absolutely.
So
you make your whole order after this. So, No, I do. No, but that's the other thing. Like collaborating with someone like Safi, like individual artwork for the songs. I mean, I don't know. I would never consider that over the top. I think that's just part of it. I think it's like
Yeah, yeah.
custom to it.
Yeah.
And having him listen to that song and be like, yo, maybe sometimes I give him an idea like, oh, this is clearly the theme of the song. But other than that, I just let him do it and then hit me back. And almost every time I'm like, I wouldn't touch a thing. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
I'm going to frame this. I'm going to put this on my wall. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
I just got one of his. So I got a piece of art tattooed on me the other day that he did for our song. Hang on. I'll stand up.
Yeah.
Because we're videoing. But that's that song, Landlord.
Yeah, yeah.
We released that acoustic single first, right? So he did the artwork for that.
That's one of my favorite songs. I wrote that down to tell you. Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much.
Landlord's
I
really
appreciate
good.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm so psyched with the full band version too. But
Oh yeah.
I think at first it was like I love the acoustic vibe of it. I was happy to put that out. But yeah, he did that. I was like, dude, I will get that tattooed on me in a heartbeat without,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, man. That's the point. Yeah, so they're for sale.
That's good.
Everyone.
That's good. Yeah. So I think Landlord and When You Were Great were like probably my favorite tracks.
Oh my
on
god.
it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The last one of the fucking
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
That's how I know you listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
No.
The harmonica. I really like they had like harmonica in there.
Thank
like,
you.
Yeah. And it was cool because you had a couple songs that were kind of acousticy. Like you had one that was on there. It sounded like it was probably maybe a demo, and it was good, but you wanted it good enough because at the end you're like one take or whatever.
Yes. But actually, that wasn't even the demo. I just wanted to do it in one take.
Oh yeah.
Just the experimental idea or whatever. Just fucking around different recording techniques. And yeah, I screamed that because I actually nailed it because there were 15 takes before that where I fucked it up for sure. And Nick, the drummer, we have our rehearsal studio in Littleton, Mass, and I just made this makeshift little vocal booth where I was in there with the acoustic, and Nick was outside hitting record. This is the only song we did not at the Bridge Sound and Stage in Cambridge with Jimmy Corbett. This is the one the whole idea of the song was like I wanted it to be live. I wanted it to be in the moment, so we just did it there. But that was me screaming to Nick, "That's a take!" Like just fucking psyched I actually did it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I liked it.
Cool.
Again, it shows like you're doing all these things, and like this is stuff that like when I was a kid, like you would get like hidden tracks on records, or you'd find like single like cassette singles that had stuff like the lo-fi stuff or the experimental stuff. I dig that,
Thank you, man. And that's what I grew up on too,
Yeah.
And I've been a musician, like a player, for many years, like all through my 20s. This is my first go at like being a songwriter, being on the mic, doing that shit. So I think I'm just naturally reverting back to what I grew up on. Like I want to put that shit out, and I support it. I think it's authentic, and it can't hurt, right?
Right.
Fucking
No.
just try it.
And it's great, man, because like your lyrics are freaking awesome. Like they make a lot of them make you think, right? Like there's a line in I Want It All. It says, "I want to be rich through a poor man's eyes." Like, you know what I mean? Like and like that to me is just like you just want to be okay, like with life, not just money, but with life. Like you want to be like satisfied, and you want like it's not about like a rich person. They want more money because they're greedy, right? They want that greed. Like where this is like it's more about like just being happy with everything,
Or like, hey, maybe I have enough.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Because like that's how I lived with my business for a long time. Like I was like I made enough to live my life the way I wanted to live it, and like I didn't need more. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I was like good, and like and then like things like and then I end up like, but I still had like a life, and I like this is awesome. This is what life is supposed to be, right?
Right.
Like you're content.
I've never understood like the strive for the bigger bank account number, and I say that with a lot of leeway, because obviously we all want to be able to live comfortably and like
Oh yeah, dude.
and sell it.
I'm
And
not
you
gonna
know,
lie to you, Dan. If I had the
Yeah.
opportunity,
Fuck,
if they were
dude,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, we're gonna give you $1 billion," I'm
Yeah.
not saying no.
yeah, fuck, come on. No.
You know what I mean?
I'm not turning down that super yacht.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. I'll,
no, yeah, yeah.
I'll sell the fuck out. You know?
No, we won't, man. We'll stay strong,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
gonna stay poor. No, I'm not.
yeah. No, but to a point, man. I don't know if I'd get that fucking girl. Like the way some people, I don't know, whatever you see.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's funny because like I see people like I know people that are really like they're real. They're definitely more punk than I because they have these codes and they're shitting on like Taylor Swift and I'm like, what the fuck? Taylor Swift's not a bad person. Like
fuck no, dude.
You know what I mean? Like
not...
as far as billionaires, like and like she had to like she re-recorded all of her music so she could get her own royalties. Like
because she knew she had the fan base. She's like, all right,
yeah,
you guys want to fuck around?
Yeah. So I mean, she's someone that like turned it around. I feel like turned it around. Like the greedy. I mean, does anyone need to be a billionaire? No, but
right.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like if she's not out there like I don't know, like doing
it's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it's
yeah. Even that song in itself, like I Want It All. It's like that whole song was like a dichotomy theme, right? So like, fuck, I'm trying to think of the first song. The first lyrics. I want it all. Yeah, the song starts, I want it all. I want to see the world. I want to have a home. I want to love my girl. I want to be alone.
I want to be alone.
So it's back and forth, yeah. Which
and
but wife loved to hear that lyric the first time, I'll tell you.
No, I get it though, because I'm like that, right?
Yeah, it's just like a study of like the back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that it to be honest, it started from my commute. Just sitting in leaving Boston traffic. Yeah, working a construction site downtown Boston to where I live which is Hudson, New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
And just that back and forth. I'm like, oh, the city to the country idea.
Yeah.
And like that's how that evolved. And then the dichotomy aspect, like I was like, all right, I'll stick with that to finish the song. Ended up writing the song in one night, the night before we left for a cruise to Bermuda. And I'm like, oh, I want to see the world, but I want to have just that back and forth.
Yeah,
man.
I like that. It's it's funny. Like there's something that's like, I mean, obviously, like you guys are very blue collar, with everything from your lyrics to your jobs, like you all, you know what I mean,
right?
And like, but there's like that's a New England, like that's kind of like a New England like theme,
right?
And
it's totally something to be proud of, and I'll stand by it. I'll be a Union Pipefitter till the day I die, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I putting out that first album, it was definitely more the theme as the band was evolving. We need something to stand by. What's our story? And a lot of that, those songs were written when I was still an apprentice in the Pipefitters Union. Some of my first jobs, though, were the Longfellow Bridge, which crosses the Charles River between Boston and Cambridge, running high-pressure steam lines underneath that bridge. So that was my view from work every day, was the full city of Boston, the full city of Cambridge.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other jobs were Boston City Hall, replacing their whole HVAC system. This just happened to be the luck of the draw from the company I was working with.
Yeah.
And then we also added new heat to Faneuil Hall, which is one of the, a historic building from American Revolutionary times. So at that point, when I was writing those songs, it was hard not to romanticize all that
for sure.
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm standing at the top of Faneuil Hall where the bell is, and I could ring the bell right now, and I may or may not have tagged my name in that bell tower but I did see other signatures from like the late 1800s, and early 1900s, let's call it.
Yeah.
But like, I shit you not, and I'm like, how do I not romanticize that when I'm thinking about shit to write about, you know?
Right. And again, like I think New England people, just in general, we carry a sense of pride. Not like we don't carry like a like a colonizer, like we came here and took the country, took the
absolutely not
land away.
No.
But like as we evolved, like we do have a sense of like our I know like my work ethic, I have that's like my most prideful thing is my work ethic, stuff like that. And like it's
nobody's gonna tell me I didn't work hard today.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have fucked up 15 times.
Yeah.
But I still gave it my all.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, so
and I agree with that, man. 100%.
I like it. I like that. And like you said, like like, so you see it all, like you want it all, but in a sense we do have it, right? Because I live in a little town, like I live in like a small town too, but I have Worcester like 12 minutes away. I've got Providence like 20 minutes away. I've got Boston 40 minutes away. Like it's all right here,
which is great.
Yeah,
dude, the rest of the country, hell no.
Dude, where I lived in Tennessee, like land wise, it was considered like a big place.
Yeah.
But there was like 10,000 people there, and I was like, this is too rural for me. Like I was like, I thought I could live anywhere. I was like, dude, I have to drive. Like I had to drive an hour just to go to the Sprint store at the time because it was like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like in New England, you could cover 5 states on a tour within the same
in less than a day,
Yeah.
Most of it.
But you haven't left Texas.
The sun is still out, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, it's a day trip. Yeah,
it's
Rhode
cool.
Island to Maine is a fucking day trip.
Yeah.
It's a long day, but it's a day.
Right. Yeah. So it's crazy.
Oh.
But like I feel like you encapsulated all that in that particular song. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, and I feel like I'll never stray from that inspiration from like the blue collar shit from the first album, but that was definitely the theme, and I didn't mind that because of those. I think because of what I was going through in life, that's what I was proud to write about and shit. But I also think we're tackling like new themes and moving forward as we go.
You are. Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. And you get that throughout this one, right? Like and again, you hit that punk rock theme about like just like we're just trying to live, and it's really hard for us to live in this, in the country. Like, and think about how like blue collar Boston was, like the city, like living wise, to what it is now. You get it all in there, dude. Like, for sure, it's and
can't afford to live in the city we build.
Yeah. I forget. And it's just I don't know. It's a wonderful. I like the album. I think it's a big hit, and like.
Dude, that means a lot though.
And like I said, you've done other things too, dude. Like you did like the Bread and Roses crossover there.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me a little bit about that one.
That was an honor to do, number one, because as a band that prides itself on the blue collar thing, that is a historic and really watershed moment in the working class gaining some power, and that was back in 1911. So that was we're not talking the 40-hour week, we're talking living conditions, or even living through your workday, which is something that it's not taken for granted, especially in my trade, but like it's taken for granted in the way that it wasn't back then, for sure. And so I, through another band I play in, Monkey Knife Fight, the singer Felipe Collazo is from Lawrence, Mass. He is involved in the Bread and Roses Festival because that strike happened in Lawrence, Massachusetts, at one of the mills that's still there. And I worked the Bread and Roses for a good 5 years before even Already Dead happened, because knowing him, I stage managed, and we saw some incredible acts even come through there to support a cause like this. But then, so Already Dead started, and then one day I was listening to the song, and it's a poem turned into a melody, and then there's a lot of great renditions of the song. But I texted Felipe and I said, "Hey, has anybody done a rock version of this?" And he's like, "I don't think so." I was like, "Dibs." I was like, I'm fucking taking that thing. Yeah, pretty much. And so Felipe is the other vocalist on the song too, because obviously that made sense. Again with the collaborative thing, but he's the reason I even got involved with the Bread and Roses, so that makes sense too.
Yeah.
And he's a hell of a fucking singer. But yeah, so we did that, and that's the one Bobby from the Magungs played on.
Yep.
And that was great to have him on that. And then we got, so this was last year's festival, we got the honor to play our rendition at the opening ceremony, and that meant a lot too, man. Just something to be a part of. That's, I'm a fucking history buff, so I always support that, like reaching back. But this is an ongoing festival, and it's an important part of anybody who's in the working class, which is, I guarantee anybody who's going to listen to this interview or anybody who's going to listen to fucking Already Dead, like we are all in that one class. And so it's a good message to like unity makes changes for us rather than us fighting each other. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep those rich motherfuckers in check. No.
That's right, man. That's right. I think I want to add. I mean, this whole album is, like I said, this album top to bottom is good. But like, if I had to add one more to like my favorites, because I like the whole thing, probably Rock Bottom. Rock Bottom's probably the other one.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and I really like.
We're proud of that one too.
I forgot how the lyrics, the chorus on that one is like.
So the chant part is.
Yeah.
We're all a lot closer to the bottom, than we'll ever be to the top.
Yeah.
And that's the same theme. Yeah, like dude, the top is so unattainable. To at least the people I feel like I that would ever listen to my fucking music.
I also think like a lot of people like need to realize that about themselves.
Right.
And again, it goes back to that like kind of like uniting versus like kind of fighting each other thing, right? Like it's
yeah. And I think it's easy to see someone maybe you see every day or just in your own community as your enemy. It's like they're not even close to the people that are really affecting the way we live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those people are so far out of our perspective, even through our fucking smartphones and shit, that like you can't. I don't know. And this is something I struggle with. This is something I think about. Like the next guy over who happens to be doing a little better, or if you are the next guy over that happens to be doing a little better, don't think that your neighbor is the problem ever. You know what I mean? Because you still live in the same fucking neighborhood. You still live in the same town. The ones who really affect change are either all the masses of people in neighborhoods like that, or the rich motherfuckers that live nowhere near you affect. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Dude, I tell you, I used to have this train of thought, and I still know people that do, and I think I've changed some minds of people that used to have it as well. Is like we were trained to like hate this person for what they have, even like regardless if they were like so like
even if they're doing a little better. Yeah, right.
Like a big thing, but it's almost like a hazing thing, right? Like I had to dig through the trenches, you do too. And when
absolutely.
I changed my mind was like 2020 when like this younger gen, the gen, I don't know if they were millennials or Gen Z or whoever, like they were like, hey, we're not gonna work for fucking shit money anymore. And I was like, yeah, what? that was something I always said, but always still worked for shit money for many years.
Right. And
so that's when I realized, like, why would I be mad at this person for wanting more like I wanted more?
Dude, exactly. And like, it's funny when people who are all within the working class will shit on that job and be like, well, you don't deserve a living wage.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, everyone deserves a living wage.
Right. Then
let's just start there.
The big argument was like, well, if they're getting $15 an hour to flip burgers, nurses deserve more. And I'm like, who said nurses didn't deserve more?
That's right. Yeah. Like, please give nurses. And that should be the bottom. Like, the bottom should move up.
Yeah.
Everyone should move up. It's not just they deserve that. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and I like,
man.
and I sit there and like, because again, I'm of age, right? I'm 43.
Right.
So like, I remember,
36,
I
yeah.
remember when $8 an hour was
Yeah.
good money. Like,
Oh,
I remember
dude.
when my father made $8 an hour,
Right.
like, and like, I was like, wow. And then I remember when I became of age to like work, like not of age to work, but when I became an adult,
Right.
I couldn't wait to make $12 an hour. And then
Right.
in a short span of time, that $12 meant 15. And then by the time I was like, oh yeah, like I remember I left Rhode Island or Connecticut. I was in Connecticut. I left Connecticut to come out to Massachusetts, and I was making $13.60 an hour when I left, and I was like, I can't live like this. Like, what happened? I remember that like we were supposed to be good,
Dude.
So
like
I came out here. Yeah, I came out here. I started my business.
Like I remember being poor.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I grew up poor. I grew up just fine.
Mm-hmm.
My personal choices in life, maybe after high school, forced me to be poor for a few years or whatever. Whatever, just struggling.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't forget it, and I think about it now, and I'm like, man, the shit I used to live off of is unattainable for somebody who was making that money that I made back then.
Yeah. I remember $30 would get us groceries.
Right.
And
I remember a family pack of chicken was like under $10, and I'm like, I can make that for lunch every day. I'm good.
Yeah, it's crazy. I one of the things and I've said this before, like, I don't think a lot of people, some people just might not remember it, right? Because they might have been too young. But like, when I became an adult, like, I never had the chance to fill an oil tank until I was almost 30. Dude. Like, oil in 2008 was like almost $5 a gallon. You know what I mean? And it was insane. It was insane. And I remember we were like my ex and I, we were poor. We would because it's just like there was an economy crash at that time too.
Absolutely.
I had lost my house. Like it was really bad. So like we would boil water to steam out the house so it would be warm.
Right.
And then if it luckily we're in Rhode Island where like it got cold there, but not like it does like, more north, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
When we were going to get a freeze, I would go and I'd buy diesel and I would be like fucking pouring it into my oil tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, I got to go prime it. So I'm priming it into I'm priming it.
Change that color.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, right? I think they do a color tint.
Yeah. It's a little like it's cleaner.
Yeah.
It's cleaner. Yeah. So like I would prime. I'd have to prime my fucking boiler, and I had to learn all this on my own because I had no one to do it for me.
What else you gonna do?
Yeah.
Freeze? Yeah, you gotta learn.
And this is before like YouTube University. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely, man. Dude, totally.
So like I was there, and I'm like, man. So I think part of it too, when I started to make decent money, you know what it was now. Like now you're institutionalized about how broke they made you, right?
Yeah.
And not only are you like, I want more than that guy or whatever. Like now I am working too much because I remember the time when I didn't have it. And it took me until I was 1 years old to realize like I don't need to work this much. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It sucks. I want people to know that now.
I think like the institutionalization, just like I slurred that. That's fine. Though.
It's okay.
But it gaslights people to think like, oh, I need to work my fucking ass off because if I'm not doing well, it's my fucking fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
I think that was
I agree, dude. I'm getting enlightened as we speak. No,
I think
as
that
we
was
speak
the game changer,
before,
dude.
but like I just don't buy into it. Like you need to be working this much,
right?
And if things change, it's whatever. Buckle up and work harder, and don't get avocado on your fucking toast. Like that is the stupidest.
Yeah.
You know what? That's gaslighting to me. It's like must be you guys' fault that we raise prices. Like I still drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee, but it has at least doubled in price since I started fucking drinking.
And win water.
Yeah. it gotten worse. And you can't tell me they've raised the price, they've raised the wage of that worker.
Right.
Accordingly with the price they've raised the coffee. Like you can't fucking tell me that. Mm-hmm. Because I don't believe it. Yeah.
One of the things I didn't mean to take us off track, but like
I love it, dude. Let's
one
go.
of the things I
Yeah.
just seen was where like they're trying to play this new, like they're trying to pass a law to raise a server wages, right, to like 15, but that's gonna exclude, like that's gonna take they won't be able to take tips anymore.
Exactly. So that, and as an uneducated person in this, my friends who are servers are saying vote no.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
my friends who are servers, because you, as the fucking government and everyone else, should side with an expert who has worked in that field, who has devoted their time to that field. They're saying no. So
I'll put it like this. I ran a bar on Mesquamaket Beach for a summer, and I was the manager, so I didn't take tips. I had a nice salary.
you had
My servers, right? My servers, they get a serving wage, which isn't very much, but
Right.
they make their money off of tips, right? One of my servers, the last, like when we, like in the fall that year, was making about $600 more a week than I was,
Right.
because she was a server. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like I don't want to take that away from that person.
Right. Why would you take that from them?
Yeah.
Like, what is the fuck? They are giving a direct service to a person, and that person decides to pay them more for their fucking service
Yeah. Yeah.
because they did a great job. Why would you ever take
Yeah.
that?
So
from them?
there's like
Yeah.
a lot of like hidden things in there, though, because
Right.
you know,
because
the government,
you know, it
like,
sounds good.
We're gonna raise their raises. We're
Yeah.
gonna raise their wages, and then you know why? Because they're not getting. They don't get obvious. You know what it comes down to, Dan? They're not able to tax all of those cash tips because not everyone's claiming them, and I don't want them to claim them.
1,000%. That's what
Yeah.
they're doing, man. Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same reason why we're not allowed to collect rainwater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they want us to
Absolutely,
pay
man. It's
fucking
crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
And I don't,
Same.
yeah. And again, I didn't read into that much, but I know every fucking friend of mine that
Yeah.
makes a living as a server has said vote no. So that's it. That's all I need to hear.
So anyway, back to the album.
Oh, yeah.
Like this
Wait.
is what it's for, though. This is like
This is already dead stuff?
yeah, it is though, right? It's like it.
No, that's, yeah.
You know, it's
This is, no, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
this is the shit I support.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to ask you this too. I was trying to. I don't have Spotify anymore.
Yep.
I just don't use it.
I don't blame you.
And Amazon gave me like a 5
Big
month.
machine.
Yeah, Amazon gave me a 5-month free trial, and I don't use it often, but it's free, so I don't care.
Yeah.
You guys are under the Already Dead on Amazon.
Of course we are.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say this: there was a bunch of Already Dead things, not you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so it definitely is separate. I don't know if that was something you guys did for streaming, or
No.
that was.
No, that was handled through DistroKid.
I was gonna say CD Baby or DistroKid. But
And
it kind of helped.
Somebody else told me that already.
It helped me find you. You know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, word
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. So that and your logo. I saw the logo and I was like, yeah, this is them. You know.
Yeah. No, somebody else already reached out to me about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's upsetting.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No,
What to
yeah,
do.
yeah. But I mean, I guess I don't know. In the world of algorithms, like until you guys are on top of it, right? It's good to be. It separates you from the other ones, I suppose. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. And like, yeah. Can't wait to meet those already deads.
Yeah.
The other ones.
Yeah. Well, that's like I know the Ducky Boys always have that problem. It's either Ducky Boys or the Ducky Boys. Like when
Okay, yeah.
when I go looking for them on like one of
Right.
the it's funny. So, but yeah,
You know what? The already dead is gonna be the rebrand.
yeah.
In case the punk thing fails, I'm just gonna be a Grateful Dead cover band.
There you go. Yes. Yeah.
The already dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I
Nailed
like
it. All right.
So you guys got some shows coming up. I saw.
We do. Actually, dude, I can announce this right now. So we've had a handshake deal to play the Boston Tattoo Convention,
Cool.
but now we are officially playing on Saturday, and we are psyched to be there, man.
You have the dates?
I don't know if you've yes. Oh yeah, shit. That would probably help. Saturday, October 5th. Yeah, so a couple weeks out.
Okay.
Right
don't
before
know.
that, we're playing in
No,
Lawrence, Mass.
I gotta see. I gotta see when this is dropping to see if that's gonna be. Just give them all,
yeah.
though. Give them all. So we'll if they do drop. If not, I'll plug it anyway. You know.
Oh yeah, dude, no worries. Let me. So September 28th, I know for sure we're in Lawrence, Mass, at Lone Soul Studios, playing a killer show with Tisk Tisk Task.
That's good grunge music right there.
Dude, they're great. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole night's like eclectic. It's gonna be great. It's Tisk Tisk Task. It's Motel Art and Bag, and dude, it's gonna be a good night. Good vibes. Good people. So Safi, the one who does all our artwork, is in the band Bag, which is they're way more hardcore. They're heavy as fuck. They're awesome. So that's gonna be a great night. And then after that, Boston Tattoo Convention, October 5th, Saturday. I think the tattoo convention's 1 to 6, so we'll be there during the day.
Yeah.
Lenny Lashley is on the bill that day too, and I think it's just us two. So that'll be.
You play with Lenny a couple times now, right?
Lenny fucking came and played our album release show, man.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have been more honored.
Yeah.
Because
I love him.
I grew up on Darkbuster, 1000%. I think my brother handed me the Weakness or Spirits album in like 2004, and I was fucking hooked. So that was a honor because, and I think Lenny is doing acoustic at the tattoo convention, but I've just been a fan of that shit too. But
Yeah.
it hits home, you know what I mean? When you're just a fan of a band
Oh,
as
yeah.
a teenager,
Trust me.
and you get to play with them live.
I
Yeah,
get to talk to all these people now. And I'm
yeah, dude. I bet.
Yeah.
How do you keep your cool? No, yeah. Yeah.
I've always been good at keeping my cool for some reason.
Right.
Unless I spill like mustard on myself, then I fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Then you just own it, or you fuck the beard up.
yeah. So all right. So
No.
October 5th, Boston Cat Tattoo Convention.
Yep.
You guys will be there. Lenny will be there.
Yep.
Cool.
That'll be a great time. And then let me dude,
I saw one in
fucking-
December and I closed the stupid webpage already.
no worries. That is with our friends the Grenadiers.
Ah,
That's gonna be up at the Shaskeen Pub in Manchester.
I have to get up there, dude. I have never been there and I keep wanting to.
Yeah, and I've never played there, man. I'm fucking psyched.
Yeah?
because it's a great club. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they get great acts and
Yeah.
people and shit play up there.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's going to be their album release, so we're even more excited because
I got
our album release had Lenny and the Grenadiers because they're our friends.
Yeah.
We played our first show with them, couldn't be happier. It's been a friendship ever since. So the fact that they
they're
just
great.
reached out,
Yeah, they're
and
great.
invited us, I'm psyched.
Yeah, I got to get a hold of them if they got an album coming out. We'll have them on the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I'll message Nick. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
And
Nick. Nick's been on.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell Nick to message you.
Yeah. I'll get in touch. Yeah, for sure. All right. So you got that. Now let me ask you something. I mean, you guys are busy. I know you guys are busy with local shows. You guys are busy with lives and work. Is there any
Trying.
plan to do any touring anytime?
That is what is in the works, and I can't say it.
All right.
But that is, and the works is supposed to be November.
Okay.
So I'm very psyched to announce it.
You just can't yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And I'm like,
Cool.
I just want to scream it.
Yeah. Well,
No, it's not that crazy. It's all like
no, whatever. It's your first.
whatever,
tour.
man. It's just
your first
hitting the
tour.
road,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like,
It's hitting the road. It's you
Dude.
talk about that in your songs, hitting the road, right?
fuck, dude. Because I did it in my early 20s, man, and I've never not reached back to that. I'm like,
Right. And I'm sure you thought about it every day. Every day.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna scream that in the mic. Dude, I don't know. When I did it, I was like, oh, I can do this. I'm built for it.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Yeah.
So this is. I made a punk band just to fucking do it again.
Yeah, that's great.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Good.
So
for you.
hopefully that unfolds soon and we can announce it and we'll be
Now
psyched
you
up.
have you have CDs for something like War.
Yep.
Any plans for vinyl at some point? I gotta ask. I'm a vinyl guy.
Dude,
you know this. By the way, thank you for your time being a member of the record club. I appreciate it.
I know, dude, and I gotta get back on it. I definitely got the 1 month, and then like just shit happened because I got the KCUF records.
I will never. Listen. You supported me. You know.
No, I'm back on.
All that
dude.
matters. You know.
I'm back on. I will literally sign up immediately after this.
I wasn't saying thank you to make you do it again. I was saying thank you because I did. I appreciated it. And when your name came through, I said, "Oh, I know him."
Well, I mean, what you took it over from State Line, right?
Yes.
So like,
yeah.
Man, dude, come on.
We're trying.
Some of the biggest supporters of artists. You know.
Yeah. We're trying, man. We're getting.
You deserve the support.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
You.
Like.
So is there an already dead talks about a vinyl?
We'll talk about this off the air. All right. But we are going back in the studio.
Oh.
November 2nd.
Okay.
November 2nd, baby.
You do have a lot. I remember the first time I met you, you said you had so many songs ready.
Yeah, dude. And it's just been more.
Yeah, I'm sure.
To be honest,
I'm sure.
It's weird. It comes in fucking waves, but like the second Something Like a War went out, I'm like, all right, mentally, that's gone now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's out. Yeah, it's in the ether. It's out. It's for everyone else now. Now
it's in the ether, dude.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Making it is for you, right? That's what you. Yeah, I get you.
And to be honest, like a lot of the songs on Something Like a War were songs I had wrote before our first album came out, so I was more excited to get those out too. Which I think is why it added up to 14 so quick. Mm-hmm. But it was more just like get them out so we can move on personally, and just start writing new ones. And that it's a motivating thing, especially like, all right, I put this out so I can't handle the reception, so I'm just gonna focus on the next thing. That's that artist shit. I feel like
yeah.
You know what I mean? But in a good way, not in a bad way. But it's like I'm motivated to just move on to the next album.
Yeah. You don't want to bask in the glory because yourself you feel like you're an imposter and you're tortured and it's time to go to the next project.
Yeah. All that glory. I just can't handle it. Yeah. Just can't handle that light that is live.
I know. I hear you. Every time something goes good, I'm like, everyone's like, why are you so mad? I'm like, because it's about to end right now.
Yeah. Because dopamines are gone and I'm depressed tomorrow. So we're moving on.
Dude, I'm happy for you. And like, I've been rooting for you guys since we first met.
Thanks, brother.
Even before that, when Michael sent me the stuff for you guys. So
I appreciate it, man.
You know, I'm happy you're getting out there. I'm happy you guys are playing shows. And like I said, you kept playing shows and I was like, cool. Like you stayed, you know, like people kind of disappear. They want to be like, they're relevant, but then the world, especially with social media. And I know this from experience because I did this with the podcast. I stopped doing social media for like 3 months and the world is not forgiving when they forget who, like when you're when you're gone for like a month and then you come back, like people are like, who is this? It's brutal. So much. It's not like, they're not mad at you. It's just like there's so much out there because of the internet. Like you get lost in the jumble again. But you guys have stayed active, and I've watched it, and I've seen you guys grow. And I love your album, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man.
Oh, yeah. With that said, where can people find you guys on social media?
Dude, all over the place. No, Already Dead Music, Instagram, Already Dead Music, Facebook, alreadydeadmusic.com, alreadydeadmusic.bandcamp.com, which is the best way to support us. And
the albums.
I gotta get back up on putting that artwork up too.
Yeah, you do. I gotta see what you got.
Yeah, man.
I got room on these walls.
Oh, I see it. I see it right under the red border. Yeah, we could squeeze some in there.
Cool, man.
And we're everywhere, man. So anyone who wants to find out, just reach out too. You know.
Awesome. Dan, this was a great conversation. It's always a pleasure. When
Great
you guys
to see you.
get more stuff, hit me up. We'll have you come back. We'll have you bring some of the bandmates with you back, you know.
All right, buddy.
All right, and that's the show. I want to thank Dan again for being today's guest on the Struggling Artist Podcast. In the show notes, you will find everything linked to Already Dead. Thank you to Chris Chavez for being producer of this podcast. Thank you to State Line Records for sponsoring the podcast. And thank you to the band Loser Circle for always allowing us to use their song, Great Illusion of Time as the theme song to the Struggling Artist Podcast. Thank you to everybody over at Patreon helping us out with their contributions. If you want to see what we have over there, go to patreon.com/podcast TSA. We have all sorts of stuff from, new shows to early access to episodes. And sometimes I drop a lot. So you get a lot of early access stuff. We send out things to the patrons every now and then. And whenever we have a project, we usually use the Patreon money for that or to upgrade equipment. But so you guys become producers of whatever we're doing. Head to patreon.com/podcast TSA to check out the tiers. Thank you to everybody who listens to this podcast, shares it with their friends, reaches out, suggests a guest, tells us potential guests how to get in touch with us, all that jazz. Thank you so much. For people who leave text messages and voicemails and emails. If you want to email us, trev@thestrugglingartistpodcast.com. Oh, yeah, we have a website. Head there and check it out. I am slowly building that thing to be bigger. As of the date of this recording, I made a new page on there for bands that are touring, and I'll put your flyer up on there. So if you have any flyers, email them to me for upcoming tours, trev@thestrugglingartistpodcast.com. And if you want to leave us a voicemail or send us a text message to the Struggling Artist hotline, 774-570-1552. You can leave a voicemail or send us a text. I love getting voicemails and text on that number. So again, 774-570-1552. All right, it's time to get out of here. And Dan was kind enough to give us a song to play. This is off of Already Dead's album, Something Like War. The song is called Rock Bottom. Until next week, take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you then.
We're all much closer to the bottom than we are to the top. One slip, and you find yourself hitting the rock. Johnny worked hard to reform it, got a promotion, company made, yeah, paid vacation, couple bucks over, every guy stepped on to get his position. Johnny bought a boat.